Bam, bam, bam.
All right, with that being said, welcome back to everybody down to the podcast.
What's up,
Your
man?
host, J and A.
What's going
Hello,
on?
kid, muchacho. What's up?
Yeah, man. What's good?
Hey, bro. What's going on, man? It's been a good week, bad week. Talk to me. What's up?
Shit, I mean, it's been a good week. It's just getting started, buddy. It's Monday, player. But if we're talking about the last week, it was a good week, man. But just a lot of work, a lot of work. What can I tell you?
Okay. So besides work, I mean, that's always thank God. Like I always say, thank God that we have work. Besides work, anything interesting going down in the world and in our country at the moment?
I mean, I hope you meant that as a rhetorical question
Yes,
because it's the gift that keeps giving, buddy. Well, not really, actually. Just in terms of things to talk about, I'm sure. But dude, it's crazy. Like we were talking about earlier, that interesting article that you haven't read yet because I haven't sent it to you. I'm not very responsible when it comes to that kind of stuff. But
haven't read it. I'm pretty sure you haven't read it yet.
for those that don't know, we are based in South Florida. Obviously, we do this via Zoom and record it because social distancing, baby.
We are the epidemic. We are the epicenter of this epidemic.
At this point, yeah, us in California are like, yo, who's taking the chip? Because we both passed New York. What a distinction. So whatever.
I hear much about New York. I hear about
you wouldn't
Texas.
even know it. Honestly, like when we were actually, doing okay for all intents and purposes, a couple of months ago when lockdown for everybody happened, we were, like things were like a ghost town. Everybody was doing the curbside pickup, all this stuff. I mean, now there's been some tweaks for those who don't know in Miami-Dade County. But the mayor has, done the curfew and a couple of changes to, like, say, for example, restaurants, you can't even eat indoors anymore. Not that I wanted to. Trust me, I don't fuck with the restaurants right now. Like, I eat takeout all the time. I find food to be, thankfully, thank God, thus far, low risk. You know what I'm saying? But in terms of eating at these places, nah, dude. That's like it sucks because that's possibly like my girlfriend and I's favorite activity. Like, 30 somethings. I don't really do the clubs. We don't do bars or anything like that. So what we love to do is just good food, nice ambiance if it's there. If not, we enjoy each other's company, but just good food, maybe a beer. And, yes.
Enjoy a cold beer. Yes, sir.
It sounds like the most exciting thing in the world, but that's what I like, So right now with the whole situation and restaurants not really being an option for us, it's been a little bit, whatever. But my point being is that, dude, it's Miami just carries on, bro. Sure, people are doing a decent job of wearing masks. I think it took a while, but now, everybody pretty much respects that, with the exception of a couple assholes here and there. But for the most part, people wear masks, but it looks normal. Like restaurants, bro, they will invent where to put that outdoor seating. Like I passed by a sushi.
Put you in the middle of the street. No, tranquilo, drive around.
Check this out, bro. You don't even have the space to drive around. So the sushi maki is a sushi like restaurant. What do you want to call it? Like mini chain? They got a couple different ones across town, and so there's one in Coral Gables which has been around for a long time, and so they're right off of Ponce, which is a commercial road, but it's not like super high traffic, but it is a busy street, and so they said fuck that. They put a couple of big planters and blocked off the public parking that would otherwise be there.
Oh,
and
yes, I saw that.
Chairs. They put some chairs and tables on what would normally be the parking. So they're getting creative with it. because, dude, I feel really bad for these restaurants, man. Like they're suffering, dude, and I feel even worse, obviously, for the staff, the gig workers like that. Boy, it's just not good, man. It's tough.
Actually,
Yeah.
for us, we love also eating and going to different places to eat and trying different food. We went to
You eat too? I didn't know you ate. That's crazy.
yes. So we went to
Yeah.
a very popular local spot down
Uh-huh.
in Wynwood. Thank you, Jay. I appreciate that. Down in
Reasonable?
Wynwood, yeah, by the walls. And honestly, I didn't see that many people like really
So hold up a
wearing
second.
masks.
Hold up a second. Give people that may be listening to us right now an idea of what Wynwood is and where the, you know what I'm saying? Like paint a little picture real quick so they have an idea.
It's an artistic district. It's like, this young pop, like very urban area, but very, touristy kind of spot, you know what I'm saying? And it's nice. It has great outdoor venues for clubs. It has a couple of good spots to eat. They got a couple food trucks out there. Very artistic walls in different areas, and it's really nice. It's really nice. It's really nice. But we went out there this weekend, and it's like I didn't see that many people wearing masks. And we were gonna go eat at I'm not sure if it's called.
Wait, but if they're sitting at a table, they're not required to wear the mask.
Not inside. We were driving down the street to get food, and I'm trying. It's escaping me at the moment. There's a restaurant right there. I think it's called House of Mac. There you go, House of Mac.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure you've been there.
Really, really, really creative macaroni and cheese.
Yeah, it looks amazing. I've had it, and it's really, really good. But
Okay.
it was packed to the top.
Were people
And the
not wearing-
line outside was crazy. There was no social distancing. There was barely anybody wearing masks. So I'm like,
Hey, man.
I'm not gonna get down to get into this kind of crowd, bro. Like honestly, I'm not gonna put myself at risk for no mac and cheese. Fuck that.
Mac and cheese send you to the grave, son. You know,
It'll be some best mac and cheese of your life.
that's what you wrote on your tombstone.
I said it. Mm-mm.
No,
I guess
so, whatever. So that we got that. That's the new stuff. Dude, it's what else, dude? I mean, it's just keeping up with the fucking crazy shit that's happening, But on the good side, I've had some, fun watching, something that's not a rerun of some Netflix show I've seen, or it takes me forever to commit to watching anything on any of the platforms that I pay money for. So I was happy that we got some basketball that I can watch, just to flip things up a little bit.
People kind of know what team we're rooting for. Kind of like that was not pre-planned, but
Yeah, I root for the lava lamps. That's what I look like.
He's a Johnny Versace team. They're running out there with chancletas.
Lava lamps. It's a comfortable shirt though, I'm not gonna lie, and it's a very like summer Florida type. I got this little collar here. It doesn't.
Who you look like a little bit with a dressed up style? Fez.
Like I never really got into that show, but I know who you're talking about. That's
you know what I'm talking about.
Whenever I don't have like the mustache or the beard, and I've had like longer hair before, I get I get told that I have an air resemblance to that guy.
No, hey, listen, that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing, bro.
We're both kind of like
Oh, that's fresh, bro. Hey, that's fresh, bro. Hold on.
Damn, no, for real, you did a good job. Did you do it yourself, or did you go somewhere?
No, I do it myself, man. I ain't got time.
Let me see the back. See that Super Bowl you got in the back.
Nah, forget that Super Bowl, boy. I'm good.
No, it looks good.
That double mirror right quick,
I've been debating maybe doing it tonight, but dude, and I love it. Honestly, ever since I started cutting my own hair, I've been getting into it. I've been getting better. Been pretty pleased with nothing beats.
Better get better. We're in the middle of quarantine, so going to the barber is like
nothing beats going to the barber shop, dude. And honestly, I feel bad that I can't support my barber because the guy's great. He's an excellent barber, super friendly dude too, man. Like, so he'll like, put me in there, and I don't have to wait long. I used to go and see him like every single week, and then when quarantine happened, bro, I was like, fuck, man, this sucks. And all I had at home was a little tiny wall clipper, and I gave myself like my buddy calls it the G.I. Jane haircut, because that shit looking fucking rough and like spiky in little areas.
Got little hair sticking out.
Yeah, this is like a week old, so you can see the blend. Not a terrible job.
Bro, that looks fresh, man. That looks fresh, bro. Listen.
Not bad. So, dude, I got into it. But I said, fuck it, So I went. I purchased a reasonable clipper, not like a Conair for $20 that sucks. I bought a decent brand.
It's stuck in your head. Ah!
Yeah. Dude, no. Hey, I was like getting ready to just swing the little peanut by its like extension cord and slamming it, because it would just pull my hair, just like just like right in those little spots that just fucking piss you off real good.
By the way, I'm not downing on anybody who can't afford like a wall or a higher end machine.
Yeah, fuck you.
Any machine that cuts your hair right. Listen, Walmart has great machines. I'm not gonna hate on them. You know what I'm saying? Do what you gotta do. Get you some clippers. Get some scissors.
You gotta do that. Save yourself maybe $10, $20 every single week. In about a month, you can afford a decent pair of clippers. Come on, Fred.
Yes.
Come on.
No, I mean, I'm not.
If you're trying to do a good job, if you're trying to look like you work in a cubicle and you drink burnt coffee, then yes, go to Walmart and buy yourself that clipper.
Burnt coffee.
Yeah.
They never change a filter on the coffee
when they
machine.
leave it like at 7-Eleven, you show up at 7-Eleven like at 1 o'clock in the morning, and they still have that pot of coffee that's been there since like 10 o'clock the previous morning. That's what that guy drinks that buys clippers at Walmart. But yeah, anyway, so I bought it, practiced. I had always, I had you to teach me from way back when, so I remembered some of the lessons. Once I started getting into like real like low areas, I get the little corner of the clipper and I just take out little hairs.
Yeah. You got it. And believe it or not, the thing about it is that I learned how to cut hair by shading, because I'm very artistic, so I love art. Since I was probably like 6, 7 years old, I've been painting and drawing and sketching and doing all that. So when I started sketching and drawing, I'm like, there's a lot of things that are similar to cutting hair.
Right.
It's all about angles. I'm like, fuck it, let me give it a try and see if I cut my hair. So I started cutting my hair in middle school, and that's it.
The most important thing is that if you're stuck inside and you don't have any skills or any hobbies, if you don't read any of these things, it's going to be evident real soon, because it's easy to get out of the house and kind of like, just not be idle, if you will. But when you're forced to kind of like either entertain yourself or just produce something that's worthwhile, you better start working something. So read a little bit more, but the haircut has been my proudest achievement, just because it does save me some money. Not gonna lie, it's a great way of saving money. Dude, I was dropping a pretty penny, which I will continue to do at some point. Because I want to support the guy. He actually just
that I do agree very much so. Yeah. Like, you can get a couple fitters in between the times that you see your barber. If you want to cut your hair, in between, like let's say every other week, you cut your own hair, and then you go for a good touch-up. You go see your barber. You know what I'm saying? Take care of your local, not just barbershop and hairstylist, but make sure that they're being treated right. You know what I'm saying? Don't be like, hey, listen, I'm kind of low on the money. I'll give you like a 15.
It's a team effort. We can't expect the Donnie dollars to come more than once or the Donnie dollars. That's that $1,200 check that we got ages ago. That
damn.
It's funny. They expected people to live. The ones that got furloughed and fired and laid off, they expected people those $1,200 should go.
That better last you 6 months. You better pay your rent, your water, your light, food, insurance, car, cell phone, cable, everything for 6 months with that $1,200.
Fucking shit. So whatever. So you got to support. So hopefully, you can keep the local economy going a little bit. But
Yeah, man.
yeah, bro.
Listen.
Uh-huh.
So, no, like you were saying, we got to keep the local economy flowing because right now, from above, they're not really helping us out in that sense. So we have to take care of our own. I see it like that, bro.
But back to the sports coming back on. I saw this morning and I was like, I couldn't believe what I saw. But the baseball season actually started, I think, in full effect. But as it turns out, your boys down here in South FLA,
Yeah, 305, they're going crazy.
Yeah, guess what's going
Expecting
crazy?
everybody.
They had 11 dudes test positive for COVID, like yesterday or today, because yesterday they won the game.
They had to I think they had to postpone another couple games, so they're like, okay,
I think they're gonna have to postpone quite a few games because you have 11 dudes, bro. You put 9 people on a motherfucking diamond. Like that's more.
You want me to tell you the truth between the NBA and the MLB? The difference. One took extra precaution to do this in a bubble setting, isolated location, minimize the amount of people coming in and out that are not cleared properly. There hasn't been the last 4 days. There hasn't been not even one case in the NBA at the moment because they're in a bubble. They're taking precautions.
Yeah, I know that
the right way. MLB está abierto. Like if you go home after you play, whatever, just
right.
take
No,
care of
they're
yourself.
traveling. They're traveling. So like, imagine, like, dude, it's okay. It's not just the players that are on the field. You got relief pitch. You got a bunch of people. You got your pitchers don't pitch every single day. You got the equipment managers. You got all sorts of coaches and managers, and then you have the fact that you have to move all that stuff. There's a lot of spinning gears to make that thing happen, and the fact that they're traveling, even if they're traveling as regionally as possible, you're still traveling. You're still getting on a plane. You're still checking into a hotel. There's a lot. You're still getting on a bus to go to the games. Like, I don't care if there's no fans in the stands. The players rarely ever even, like, I think the fans were the least of the concern. I think that, they're kind of doing the same thing. Sorry, I got like the Yanni's, man. Your boy's been up since 5:30 a.m. and it is 9:30. So I'm not.
It's crazy. And some people may hear that be like, "What you mean, you're Yanni's? You're young." I'm like, listen. When we were in our 20s, right now we'd be full of energy. I woke up at 6 this morning, or like close to 7. I'm falling asleep every day at 8:30. I'm already like, oof.
Yeah.
And that's before the food. I'm like, oof.
I've been doing a 5:30 start shift, and I look, no complaints, man. I am blessed to have a good job, looking out. But boy, the last couple of weeks I've just been like, wherever they need me. As you can tell,
that boy, give it a shake.
As you can tell, this is the byproduct. So I'm, it's a matter of getting used to it. But
yeah,
whatever, dude. Got a job, happy, blessed. So talk to me, bro. So one of the things that we were talking about earlier, we mentioned, was this article that on the Miami Herald talking about how the beach is going to, for the however many times they have tried before, they're going to try again now to really start tweaking what's happening down there. And in terms of the nightlife, maybe curbing some of that, maybe, closing and cutting off alcohol sales a little earlier. I think they tried doing something to that effect last election cycle. Where
it's not gonna be with effect.
Even the residents voted against it, where they were like, "No, dude, like, look, there aren't many residences on Ocean Drive, right? It's mostly hotels and
Fifth. Now, all south of Fifth, you got the high rises there, but that's about it.
But even then, it's like, I think that the noise level at some point stays low. So the point being here is that they just want to turn the beach kind of like pull it back a little bit, make it more cultural, make it more, artistic, if you will.
Kind of like Wynwood.
A little bit. I mean, obviously, like I told you earlier, like probably without the graffiti, and they're probably gonna have a more maybe upscale vibe. I think I read that they were even thinking about doing again like what's already been done in the design district. Which honestly, like, who needs another Gucci store? Like, you really don't need that. It's not gonna drive anything. And it's not saying that they don't have a lot of room to tweak things. But Miami Beach, man, like, you're already at the point where it's a renowned hotspot. And, here's the thing, though. Maybe I'm jumping a little bit too much, but maybe you agree with me here. This COVID-19 thing down here has really put a light on something that's a little bit obnoxious. And, yes, I know that Miami is a party town. I know that over here everybody is about that life. But fuck, bro. We got a pandemic and people don't know how to put that life aside for a second just to get this little, inconvenience out of the way. People are
they have to party. It's in their bones, and they have to get it out.
And it's like, okay, yeah, they can't go to the venue, so they'll have like these like parties at home, bro. And it's like it's the same shit, dog. Like, what do you expect? What do you think?
Vecino, come on over, everybody, come on over. Yeah, and then everybody gets sick.
Like, there's a party going on when it's like, that little ass house has way too many cars in that driveway. It's like one big ass dually taking up like too much space and then a bunch of little ass cars.
Looking like a Fast and the Furious movie set. Todos los carros por ahí parqueados así.
I don't even know what the fuck that guy said.
You didn't even sound like Vin Diesel. Who you sound like?
Bro, I sound like
the guy from you sound like the Megatron.
What does he sound? Megatron. Wait, what does he sound like? Wait, is Megatron the good one or the
Megatron is a bad one.
Really? What's the other one called? Decepticon or something like that?
No, Megatron.
Megatron
is a bad one. You got Starscream. You got
Well, the names are the worst.
This is like what? Back in the 60s, back in the 70s, it's an old show.
Starscream, bro. Like
Starscream.
Nobody hears you in space.
Uno grito allá. ¡Ay! Ahí viene! Here he comes.
Ahí viene. Tápate. Wait, well, what about Bumblebee? Why Bumblebee? Like,
the writer was writing a script, and a bumblebee came and bit him. And he's like, "Oh shit!
Wait, come out. Bees bite?
Yeah, bite. They don't even sting no more. They bite now.
I didn't know they did that.
No. I'm not gonna waste my sting on you.
Is that a murder hornet that he didn't know? That boy just came here and chomped. That's not bee stung, homie. Get your anatomy right.
Getting out with
right, son.
They hungry.
Step it up. So yeah, Megatron though. Are you sure that's the good one or the bad one?
Let me look it up, bro. Let me look it up. But while I look it up, let me talk to you about the craziest story that most people haven't been talking about, which is the New York Post broke a story about the Pentagon and the fact that they are in physical possession of a spaceship, basically a craft that's not from this planet.
Have they released pictures?
Well, not just pictures. Remember, about a month ago, they released several videos.
Time out. You said that the Pentagon is in possession.
Yes,
of the spacecraft.
Exactamente. So you remember Bob Lazar from the Bob Lazar? He's been basically the whistleblower for S4, which is one of the locations out in Nevada. That basically Area 51. Subsector of their testing facility. So they've been talking about aliens, about spacecraft. The U.S. government has 4 aircrafts, that are not from this planet. All of this, and they basically spent their whole life saying this guy's been lying, basically threatening the guy. So now that they came back and say, listen, we're in physical possession. This is not like videos and little cameras and people.
Vindication.
Yeah. People, you see how people are always showing video. Oh, mira, un extraterrestre, or this or that, or last month, the Air Force released a couple videos of
I saw that.
the Tic Tac, and there was a couple more. Several other governments from around the world have been releasing information about this for years now. You know what I'm saying? And now this is the first time we actually hear that it's not just video or this or close encounter. We physically have a spaceship that's not from this planet, meaning we have been lying. They've been lying to us the whole time.
Okay, so two things about that though. Okay, I don't know every detail, but I'm just gonna go along with how my mind typically works with these type of things. A little cynical, a little skeptical, and I'll tell you why.
All right. If you are this cynical, I'm gonna give you guys a little hint. Okay, you know Rubio,
The senator.
the Senator Rubio, Marco Rubio.
The Senator Rubio.
The Senator Rubio. He's part of, I believe, a commission board that discusses certain budgets. And in his budget, you can look this up. In his budget proposal, there's a category is for studying UFOs and extraterrestrials.
Be that as it may, I would never.
I'm just
doubt
saying that the information that was
so
shared
I wouldn't
already.
doubt that that's there. But here's the reason: because they just need to kind of like, at some point, they have a budget and they need to spend some money. The budget is like, you know, the Senate kind of sets the budget, don't they? The Senate. They basically
the House first goes through and
Congress basically
passes the bills. You know, majority right now Democrat, then the Senate, which is majority Republican.
So what I'm saying is though, is I think that, you know, two things. You know, we'll start off with the smaller concept there, which is just how they are allocating the funds and what they were able to prove, and you know, who knows how and what kind of resources they are actually using to look up whatever they say they're looking up, or
I would not doubt it if this is, you know, a black book kind of thing, that it's basically off the record and it's privately funded. You know what I'm saying?
It has been though. That's what I'm saying. Like it has been for years. But here's the thing though. I think it's just the way I think that this is kind of a red herring of sorts. Why? Because there's a lot going on in the world right now, bro. There's a lot going on in the world. You've got, okay, well, we already know the pandemic going on. There's going to be a very bad financial situation, bro. There's no way to look the other way.
Red herring and a lot of things that are going on.
So why is it a red herring? Because they just need to be like, hey, look what we have here. Look what we have here. What a time to drop this kind of shit, bro. You could have dropped this in a more stable period. Unless that big ass ship from Independence Day is almost here, it's gonna just like, you know, break through the clouds at any minute. What sense does it make to drop it now as opposed to any other time where things were a lot more stable? And I think it's to just kind of draw your attention away from. It's not that I don't want to believe in.
I mean. I get what you're saying. Maybe they're trying to divert attention from the real things, but I don't think that it's so much diverting attention, because the attention is so bad because we're in such deep crisis at the moment. There's no way that attention can get diverted. But I say this to say that. I don't think it's to divert attention for the simple reason that we already just launched several missions. And one that's in the process to being sent to the moon. China just sent, and I'm not sure if it was India or another country, just sent a spaceship for out of orbit. There's also missions that are getting ready to go to Mars from different countries. So why is everybody now hauling ass to try to push shit together? It's like, yo, darling, we got to do it now. We got to compete. The first one to Mars.
So what would you say, just off the top of your head, based off what you know or what you just think using your imagination, is okay, besides the pyramids, of course, like what other proof do we have, or pointing in a direction where you're like, okay, this is sort of feasible because we have seen these patterns throughout history.
Okay, throughout history, it's been documented in almost every single civilization that there's been encounters with different people, and they come
Okay.
from the stars.
So I know the Egypt, the Egypt
Egypt, even
civilization.
I'm talking about way back, like hundreds of thousands of years. Like the writings in the wall, in the caves. Like there's certain things that they draw what they saw, and they were pretty good at identifying certain things. They're not gonna, I mean, in a lot of different religions, they have certain things tied into them, which are like the I'm not sure if it's Venimatas or Veninas. Forget the name of it.
Right.
It's like spaceships and beings from above and civilization and Planet X and that. There's a lot of things that are just mixed in there.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of things that were documented that, listen, a lot of civilizations saw what they saw. And they were not trying to sugarcoat it for political reasons. They're like, no, this is what I saw.
Right.
These beings is what I saw. The Aztecs documented it. The Indian tribes, I mean, it's everywhere, bro. It's
like
everywhere.
I see that. I see that, and that's the part that makes it interesting to me, because obviously there are, like you mentioned, civilizations from ancient times that have some pretty curious documentation, on walls or their architecture or things like that. That makes sense. So that it goes back to the thought of, okay, so then why aren't they visiting so much now? Or maybe they have. So you see the little tumbling aircraft from the Air Force video, but that's kind of evasive almost. Like they're kind of like, catching them in flight, being a little bit elusive, right? Whereas Egypt, the Mesoamericans, the people with cave drawings, those people seem to have had more first-hand interactions.
Yeah, more direct. I would say yes. You are correct. They had more. I'm not sure if it's basically.
So why would that be the case?
Yes, I see. Like our we're very cynical. We're very point the finger. If someone says that we saw something, like we're very in denial about everything because we don't see the possibilities of that. Back then, they were like direct. They were very religious, so they see something, they would believe that it was for a higher reason. It was, it was meant to be. These are the gods. These are the gods coming down. So we lo lavamos like if they were our gods.
Right.
So they were more, I don't know, like they weren't, I guess, as afraid. I'm not sure if that's the proper way to see it. I don't think they were as.
The only thing I can
we're afraid for the simple reason that we're scared that we're not the only intelligent life form out in another planet. Like we feel like we have to be the smartest things, even on our own planet.
Well, see, for example, at least the way that I always thought about it was that, I'm a person of faith, obviously, but it was never just because, I'm not the kind of person of faith that thinks that the world is 10,000 years old. I believe it's obviously many, many billions of years old, and everything took a long time to come about. I think that, sometimes the way that it's summed up, like, that they did things in 6 days. Well, it could be, but also could be that maybe those days were like a microcosm, where a day was like many years, right? Or whatever. That's besides the point. What I mean, though, is the universe, bro, is so fucking big. So fucking big. Like, just for 1 second, we hear like, dozens, hundreds, thousands, millions of light years. 1 light year is something that a human being to like this day has not been proven. You know what I'm saying? Like you and me.
Yeah. Ever since Einstein decided to drop the relativity of light being the factor of how we measure speed.
Right.
It's like this. It's like, we cannot get to that point that we're gonna.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, like, just considering the distances, right, between planets in our own solar system, then between stars, right, in just an area of a galaxy, and then our galaxy, which is a pretty big one, but it's not the biggest, right? You cannot go from one end to the other one.
And
Like
not only that, but remember, there's still an expansion going on. The universe is still spreading and it's still expanding, and it's expanding faster than the speed of light. So it's like if we think that we're going to be able to get there, this is a point of start right here. We're trying to get to here, but as we're moving forward, it's moving faster away from us.
Yeah. So, it's funny though. It's not to jump around too much, but that's always been a more interesting conversation for me, which is not, okay, cool. If intelligent life forms of any sort exist within our universe, great. So be it. Even if you wish it to not be true and it were true, there's no sense in wishing it away. It's just not, you'll never be able to do that. So accept it. Maybe they're benevolent. Maybe they don't give a fuck. Like who knows?
It's like an ape. Like we would be reacting to an ape if we saw an ape from the outside. They wouldn't know what the heck we were. But because we see that they're lesser life forms, that they would not be able to understand it and have that something in return that they can benefit from that relationship. Like,
right, exactly.
Dude, we're not on their level.
If they're coming from an absolute other, like, just impossible place to come from in the universe, or maybe from a different universe, if you want to think about that, then our very rudimentary, by comparison, lives or situation that we have here on this earth would seem very small. So maybe it's just, this has been a topic that's been talked about forever. But what I'm saying, that I guess the topic that's always fascinated me in terms of astronomy has been just that, more so astronomy. It's like, okay, what are we expanding into? That's why, I can believe in infinity. I can believe in something with no beginning and no end, something that can always exist, because if we are here now, right, and the universe is just as old as it is and started somewhere, well, what was that somewhere? Where was it contained? What contained it? You know what I'm saying?
I get you.
Of which it existed in at that beginning point. So, and I've seen the graphics. I've seen that, they did that little cylinder cone looking thing where, Big Bang is here and it just everything blew out that way. I don't put it past it, but at the same time,
a lot of people think that not just for the Big Bang, which was this just big explosion from this one center of energy, there's also going to be a big crunch, which eventually everything after all the expansion, everything's going to come back into itself.
Right.
And then again, it's going to start all over again.
Right.
So how many cycles do you think?
Right. So another thing is like, okay, if you have this expansion, well, wherever you are expanding or whatever is expanding, doesn't it have like an epicenter? So I know that the universe is measured in what is like the observable universe, which is just what we can observe and not necessarily what is there alone. Maybe there's a lot more that we're not able to see. Dude, I think I'm open-minded about it. I'm cynical, obviously, when it comes to the intelligent life form, especially when it comes to a government that's been so secretive and then all of a sudden now is willing to, unravel some of this or pull back.
It feels like they're just dumping the whole load of information like all at once. So like, hey, no.
But again, like nothing that a government does that's powerful has ever done. Yeah, sure, you have gaffes, you have mess ups and screw ups, but nothing's ever done without a clear purpose and intent for something else.
They're not gonna. They don't show their real hand in anything that they do, and it sucks.
It's like that because you have competing governments. You have people that are constantly trying to displace you as the world's superpower. So I get that, but I don't know, man. I don't know. Well, I can't wait to hear more about it and see more information, because it's just like I need to hear more.
Listen,
about.
I'm exactly like you in that sense that I'm like, until I get the actual facts, you got to show me some evidence, some hard concrete evidence. and it has to be enough and clear as day that it's real evidence. It's not just,
Right.
you know, I could confuse it for this, for that. It's not the weather balloon is this or that. It has to be concrete evidence. I feel you. But
Yeah.
we can't be also so naive, say there's no possibility. Like, I think about this all the time. I mean, at the rate that we're evolving with technology and everything, I mean, it's just crazy. Like, from the time that it took from us to move from horses to locomotives to vehicles, it took about 100 years.
Right.
And
Yeah, but I mean,
we're in a day and age that there's cars driving themselves, that we have, you know, augmented reality in play. We have so many things going on. We have a proton collider, basically, out in Geneva.
mm-hmm.
That's basically sending these protons across and colliding and forming little small black holes. Yo, like, do you think? Do you understand?
That hasn't happened yet, though. That hasn't happened yet. They have.
Oh, like, they did it. Yeah, they actually got not the black hole portion, but they've been able to split.
What that collider that was really trying to do was kind of
find the Higgs boson, which is the God particle.
Right, but what I'm saying, well, the purpose is to just know exactly or witness how the world could have come to, or the universe come to be through a Big Bang type situation, right? Like, am I understanding that right? It could be just completely.
Yeah, I mean, there's this very interesting documentary that I'm gonna have to send you so you can check this out, and I'm gonna put the link inside the video at the end. But it's very interesting to actually start learning about things that are going on, that have been going on, that with one little mistake could basically erase everything. Like, these people are messing around with you know, with breaking down an atom, breaking down this, that, and cause this extreme form of energy from such small particles that is like, they can easily create a black hole if you think about it. I'm gonna definitely put it in. It's very interesting. You guys should definitely watch it.
Yeah,
put some other stuff in there also.
We can definitely go down the rabbit hole deep with that, because
man, I'm telling you,
like, shit, the possibilities are endless. But you know, there's so much that I just consider, like, where is the interest here? Like, where is the catch? That's what I think of first, and then it's like, I can follow an argument, but whenever it's the government releasing it in a very curious time, I have to be a little bit cynical, because it's like, what do they want from this information? I don't think they would volunteer that information, especially after keeping it secret for so long.
I think we're at a point that they're gonna start releasing little by little more information, for the simple reason that you know, if they're gonna unload all this information on us, they want us to kind of be warmed up to it already, I guess.
Okay.
So I mean, I honestly believe that they're gonna continue in the next couple of months releasing more information, more videos, more details of certain projects, and you're gonna be more used to hearing about it from the government's portion. You're like, okay, it's not that big of a deal, you know, a UFO. No, it's not that big of a deal. I heard about it, and that's the thing. Get people in a way that they're already buttered up, you know.
Yeah, I get it. So so once they actually drop that big stuff,
they have the actual aliens. They're like, hey, listen, we've also been working.
We got the aliens, y'all. Come check them out.
They're not twins, no.
They don't look the same.
They don't look the same.
Yeah. So, all right, cool, bro. So this has definitely been interesting chat. It's I think that we can revisit this more, because hopefully there's gonna be some more information coming out, and it's just worth a deeper dive in terms of, you know, how it can be possible, which is something I need to, you know, look into. So I look forward to those links that you said that you were gonna post. And
I'm gonna definitely post.
That'd be something that's gonna change my mind, or at least open it up to
Hey,
this being
listen,
more.
definitely. There's this guy. He was a news anchor. He actually was the first person to interview Bob Lazar, which his name is George Knapp. He was actually on Joe Rogan the other day. Very
No,
credible
I know who
source.
Bob Lazar is. I know who he
Oh,
is.
you know who Bob Lazar is. The Bob Lazar story. And as incredible as it sounds, all the things that Bob said from years and years ago, back 30 years ago, you see it now, and all the technology has already been included into our society nowadays. So it's like he gave us a heads up that this technology existed then. You know, hand recognition, a bunch of different things, and we're like, wow. Element 115, by the way, they denied it. Element 115 is actually on the table of contents, which is, I think about it now, I'm like, bro, it's crazy what this guy brought out, and nobody, gave him credit for it, and now it's part of our life. So it's like,
go Bob.
Yes, sir. So I'm gonna put the link in the description
For sure.
for some of the channels you guys can follow also on Instagram, George Knapp. You know what I'm saying, Joe Rogan.
I'm gonna end up swallowing this computer with all these yawns, bro.
No, that's okay. It's all good in the hood. Easy. Look at you, man. You're looking like
Hey,
you remember that movie with
the Birdcage with fucking
yes,
Robert Williams.
Yes.
I love that movie, bro. That movie's hilarious.
Robert Williams, bro.
Madonna, Macha Gram. When he's doing
I thought you had to remember it. I was like, oh shit.
Hey, look, that boy was easy, dog. That boy had some style.
Come on,
Little style with
that's another episode that we're gonna have to definitely break down. You know, some of the most influential actors and actresses of our time that basically just changed the way that we see cinema nowadays.
That guy's definitely up there. But with that, love y'all. I'm gonna sign out. This thing's gonna be up there soon. We'll talk when we're done, Freddie. I got an idea. All right. So hopefully that idea will be up soon. Peace.
All right, y'all. Be good.